What's the motherfucking deal, man? Welcome to the den. Finally, the den has come back to the den. I don't know. I am your host, Honcho. Glad that you joined me this evening, afternoon, whatever time it is. It's y'all all over the place. So whatever time it may be where you're at, I'm just glad that you could join today. So I said that I was going to make up for yesterday's early den. And so we're gonna get that shaking. Hold on one second. So a little weird shit going on. All right, now we back in action. So let's get this thing rolling. Shout out to Culture, man, because like I said, I always appreciate it. It's just y'all don't understand how convenient this is. But shit, I fried it. Because I'll be forgetting, it has to be adjusted a certain way. Ed Honcho HTX on Instagram and Twitter if you want to follow my personal social medias. Hit that like button, man. Hit that subscribe button if you just watched it. But hit that like button, let YouTube know you enjoy the content. Share the video with friends who are like-minded because, some certain conversations don't get promoted the same. Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and Gmail. Didn't Show Live is all you need to remember. That way you can, if you want to hit up via email, you can do that. Monday through Friday at 1 p.m. Every night, 7 o'clock, 10 p.m. Central. Den Show Podcast. If you cannot watch, listen in. I'll make sure to upload the streams, the audio to the podcast. So if you want to check it out and just want to listen, sometimes I know if you don't have like the YouTube Premium or whatever, it'll cut off, while you're doing other stuff. So it makes it more convenient via the podcast. If you ever want to call the den, whether we're live or not, 833-284-3336. You can send a text message. You can send a picture message, like if you want to screenshot some news or something, you come across a funny meme, something that may be related to what we were talking about or something, whatever's on your mind, you want to set a topic, whatever it could be, you can hit the Den line. Den Show Shop, get you some Den Show merch. Go to streamlabs.com/the Den Show if you want to make a one-time donation to the channel. And shout out to everybody who's been showing love and dropping those Denjamins for the channel. It is greatly appreciated. And if you want to support the channel on a long-term basis, you go to patreon.com/The Den Show. Shout out to James, Dan, Donald Trump, Stina Starry-Eyed, Miss Goya, Betty Spaghetti, Miss Grace, and Miss Diana. I appreciate each and every one of you for having faith in the long-term success of this community. As the Den community grows, sometimes some people jump out, some people jump in. And, we will continue to keep pushing and continue to keep growing regardless of what odds may be against us, what obstacles may be in the way. I feel like we have something extremely special here. And it's just like I say, it's like every day is like a gathering of friends. And sometimes not so friendly. Sometimes y'all be beefing, but, we all grown folks. Some of y'all got to figure that out. I can't look. Yeah, I don't know what to tell y'all, but sometimes I don't know. I don't know what I be missing. But let's talk about it, man. Let's get into it. Let's talk about it, man. Like I say, it's plenty to talk about today. I want to talk about judging people and kind of other cliches, like don't judge a book by its cover. It's things that people say that may or may not always be the best decision or not. Just Sarah, what's the motherfucking deal? Miss Meat, sit your ass down. What's the motherfucking deal? Miss Bell, how you doing today? What's the motherfucking deal? Sweetberry. Kenzatta Crowder, what's the motherfucking deal? D. Nelly, what's the motherfucking deal? Rob C. said, MLK, you ever dream of a time when men will be judged by the contents of their character rather than the color of their skin? Oh yeah, I'm not sure. I don't think I judge people by the color of their skin. I do judge people though. I'm gonna tell y'all why. Rest on Sabbath day already. Keisha R. Good to see you. How you doing today? Female pimp. Put down the tortilla chip. Now, I don't care how good the queso is, just put it down. D the Gamma Maze, what's the motherfucking deal? How are you today? George the Patio Guy, what's the motherfucking deal? Let's see, let me see. Make sure I ain't missing nobody. Let me see, I think I know I seen Man Cave, what's the motherfucking deal? AKA Man Up, what's the motherfucking deal? If y'all want some of the world's greatest cookies. Honcho said that. World's greatest cookies. I don't know if there's like a trademark on that shit or not. How could you trademark that? Anyway, make sure you go to slide by one of Man Up's channels, man. Leave a comment on the channel. Let them know that you'd be interested in getting some of those world's greatest cookies, man. don't miss out on the opportunity, because like I say, when you hit it big and you have these big corporations trying to buy man-ups cookies, and then they're gonna be too expensive for you to afford them, you can get in on the ground floor and get you some of them good ass cookies. George Chit Chat, what's the motherfucking deal? Only one lie, what's the motherfucking deal? Let me see. OJ Jackson, what's the motherfucking deal? Let me see. Look, if I missed you, I ain't dish yet. But we finna get into some good conversation. I may have just slightly overlooked it. So let's talk about some things. Judging people, right? They say don't judge a book by its cover. And I think that works for books, okay? I think when it comes to people, you gotta be reasonable, all right? You gotta be sensible. And I'm gonna say it like this, because let's be honest. For the most part, people carry themselves as they are, right? I mean, what people tend to give you an idea of who they are. At the very least, you have an idea somewhat of their mentality, or maybe their past, or again, you can catch somebody at the wrong time depending on the scenario and the situation. I think there's so many factors that go into it. So if you have to, if you're at a club, depending on what type of club you're going to, well, you're being judged for being in that vicinity, in that environment. And, you could be a very professional person, in your day-to-day life. It could be the one time you went out and felt like getting loose and you got a little too loose. Somebody posted a video in the Den group the other day, and I don't know what old buddy was on. I don't know what kind of drugs he was doing, but he seemed to be dressed, relatively professional compared to some of the other stuff that people had on in the place. But his actions, well, not so much. Rashida, what's the motherfucking deal? And so, it's like you judge people. It's just what you do. And I think it's for your own safety. Okay. It only makes sense to judge people. And I'm not saying go out and just make a big, huge assumption. But if you didn't, and you just gave everybody the benefit of the doubt, I think you end up hurting yourself more than you're helping yourself. I think you have, it's more rare that somebody surprises you outside of who they are. K Grace, what's the motherfucking deal? And so I think that people generally tend to be who they promote themselves as, right? Everything you do, you market yourself. I talk about marketing from time to time. And the things you wear, the way you dress, the way you speak, the places you go, the things you listen to. I mean, these are all forms of promotion of oneself. And so if I see someone doing certain things, I'm going to go with the assumption, right? Like, if you got face tattoos, tattoos, you just all over your face, you hit up all over your face, right? No, I'm going to judge you a certain way as opposed to somebody who might not be. We could all be in the same environment, and the person who might not be, they may be more dangerous, they could be anything else. But if you have tattoos on your face, I'm going to think, okay, this person here does not give a fuck. They have no intentions on doing certain things. I mean, of course, and that's why I say it can be a segment of your past. It could be some things you did when you were once of one mentality. But I'm going to assume you still are of that mentality, because most people honestly do not change. The overwhelming majority of people do not change. I mean, you have to really go through some shit, and even some people go through some shit and still don't change. It just is what it is. So my thing is, people say don't judge a book by its cover. I'm going to be honest. If you do judge a book by its cover, probably 85 to 95% of the time you're going to be right. You know what I'm saying? Muscle relax. What muscles you relaxing? Amy, what's the motherfucking deal? And so that's just my thing, right? That's my thing, man. And I hate to be judgmental. I hate to make assumptions, and I think you can be reserved in your assumptions. But my thing is, don't put things past people, because I don't put anything past anybody. See, you got this strain. You're working too hard, Keisha. That's what it is. You gotta calm down. Don't you're straining your muscles. Don't do that. But the thing about that is, on the other hand, it can be a flip. So what happens when you do come across those people who do change, or those people who are different, but they may have those remnants from the past still attached to them? That's what I say. Even though you judge people, and you got to be careful what kind of opportunities you give. You keep those reservations in the back of your mind, but you have to let the action speak. That's what I always say: "What actions speak louder than words." Now, that's something that you hear all the time that I do believe is true. That is something that is 100% true. The person's actions will tell you everything that you need to know. Period. If they, you can say a bunch of shit. If you keep saying, one thing and you never ever do it, well, then that it devalues everything that you say, and then you'd be foolish to continue to listen to words. And that's the problem a lot of people have. They listen to these words from people, never see the action. But they said, but then it never ever happens. So, it never happens. And so again, that's I guess one of those, I don't know if you want to say a cliche or whatever you want to call it, one of those phrases that people use time and time again. Now that's something that I think can be applied. There's a lot of other cliches and a lot of things that people say often that I don't think they make sense, but we'll kind of get into that, and I'll open the line here in a second. I want to know your thoughts on judging people, if it's right or if it's wrong to judge people. If, have you had an experience where you've judged someone and maybe what you thought about them was completely wrong? Because, I say these things because I'm a big person. I'm like, hey, I know that I'm being judged. I know that, right? And, I don't really care, because I think you can leverage that as the person being judged. I think you can leverage certain judgments to your advantage. If somebody underestimates you, they view you as a weak person, they view you as ignorant or whatever it may be, you can leverage those things in your favor. I really do believe that you can. And so it's all about how you handle certain things. I don't think everybody's actions are always extremely deliberate when they do things. I think certain people, they're just going to be who they are. They're going to, how they've been raised or the environment that they've been in. That's what they're going to kind to adjust. You judge me. It's hot. Look at it. It's hot in this damn garage. I'm surprised I ain't sweating. But, I think that most people just are who they are. I don't think most people think past surface level shit. So that's why I feel like most of the time when it comes to judgments, judging people, situations like that, you can see most people and take most people at face value. And then through conversation, through anything else, well, there's that. I guess that works. And you gotta. What do they say? They say you gotta do it twice to make sure you didn't enjoy it the first time. How do you know you don't like something unless you try it twice? Somebody told me something crazy like that. But when I open up the line, this is what I want to talk about. I want to talk about judging people. I want to talk about cliches that people use or phrases that people use that might not always be so accurate. They may work for certain situations, but overall aren't quite true most of the time. So that's what we're going to go with today. Give me 1 second. Excuse me. Good grief. Pardon me. I don't know why I have a thing about, I don't know why I cannot, when I feel a sneeze coming on, I must cut the camera off. I don't know why. No real reason. Excuse me. Pardon me. But it's just, I don't know. Because I know y'all like the screenshot out of me that made a crazy face. And the next thing you know, it's a Honcho meme floating around. So you got to be careful. Thank you, Miss Rashida. I appreciate it. So with that being said, let's talk about it. Give me a second. Let me open up the line, and we're gonna get our judge on. You know, ain't nothing wrong with that. Female pimp, you judge tortilla chips. Who got the best tortilla chips? Let me know. That's the only thing I'll take your judgment on. Anything else outside of that, not so much. Let me see. And Jess Sarah be like, Kevin Gates, I got 2 phones. One for the stream and one for the calls. I don't know. Yeah. I did not think that one in advance. All right, so now I know last night we got a little off track. And so I'm gonna stay on. Y'all was slow boogie with the calls last night. So we gonna see if it's slow boogie, then I'll let y'all talk a little bit. But we're gonna start off with the 10-minute rule. Oh, speaking of judging, before we get started, right? Y'all are bad people, and I'm giving you my bad finger. So someone sent me something to share with you all, right? I'm gonna share something. I don't think I'm gonna share all of them. I'm gonna share a couple of things. So this was from a den from a while back, and they said that they didn't like how y'all were describing this individual. They didn't like how y'all were assuming a certain thing about them by the way they sounded. So I'm going to post a couple of pictures. They suggested that I post these few pictures. I'm gonna let this thing do what it does. That they post these few pictures, and I'm gonna let y'all take a guess on who it is, and whoever can guess who this person is first, I will give you, I'm gonna give you 10,000 pistachios, okay? I'm gonna give you 10,000 pistachios. Now, you said you wasn't gonna call it first, so I killed a line. I was like, okay, well, I want to get ready to get off here. Because I was fooling with Shannon and arguing about the damn 10K and all of that stuff. I went way past that. And I agree with the assume makes an ass out of you, but I think that you can play that to your advantage, But I think the majority of people, they're going to give you exactly what they are. Now, you said you wasn't even finna call, and you said, I'm not even finna give it my time. I ain't even finna sweat it. And so I said, okay, well, she ain't gonna call, and I'm finna get off of here and stop fooling with y'all. So you cannot blame me for that. Oh, sit your ass down, Miss Me. You see, that's why you can't take Miss Me nowhere. Just misbehaving. But like I said, I'm gonna open up. Let me show y'all these pictures, and I'm gonna open up the line after these pictures, right? And so, like I said, this person said y'all were talking bad about them, right? And I'm just gonna post the pictures up, and I'm going to allow you to take a guess. Let me put the right thing up. It's a couple of pictures, so I'm gonna let y'all take a guess, okay, as to who this is that y'all were judging a little while back. And this person says half y'all that were judging can't stand in their shoes. So what y'all gonna do about it? So let me, we'll do these. I'm gonna leave a couple of those out of it, okay? Let me see. Let me set this up properly. All right, hold on. Good grief. Excuse me. I don't know. I get the sneezes. I gotta clean this. I gotta clean up around. It's probably dusty in this motherfucker. All right, so let me put these on, right? And like I said, the first person to guess who this is will receive 10,000 pistachios in their pistachio stash. All right. This is a den folk, okay? And this den folk says y'all were talking shit, right? Y'all were hating. Y'all were talking down on their name. Y'all was capping. Y'all was cracking jokes. Y'all was with the hee-hees and the kikiing and shit. And this person said, y'all can't touch her with a 10-foot pole. So, whoever can guess first, 10,000 pistachios. I will leave the photos in rotation until y'all can figure it out. I'm not going to give any other clues because if I give too many more clues, I think it'll give it away. But what you gonna do with it? What you gonna do with it, Beyond? So, all right, so I'm gonna slide over here in the corner. I'm gonna lean in the corner right here. So nobody's answered correctly yet. Okay? No one has answered correctly. This person said y'all was talking down, y'all were hating, y'all were capping, y'all just had a lot to say about what she had to speak on. And so she said, the majority of y'all in this chat can't touch this. Can't touch this. By default, or not by default, but I'm going to give it to Miss K. Grace. This is Miss Sean. Okay? Not Joe Brown. No. This is Miss Sean. And so Miss K. Grace, let me hook you up with the. Let me see. Oh my God, I do this right over here. And Miss Sean said y'all were hating. Y'all was talking down. Y'all was talking about old coochie hairs or something like that. You know, this is a 50-year-old woman. And she said half of y'all can't step out like this. So what you gonna do with it? So, well, how female pimp still answer shit? The answer already been had. Like I didn't just sat there and said the answer. This motherfucker full of them potatoes, them tortilla chips still answered. But she said the other night when she called, that y'all was in the chat that there was a lot of snickering and kikiing on the 4th of July call when the audio was kind of messed up. Y'all was cracking jokes and everything. And then when she got on, when the audio started getting right, you know, folks was saying a lot of stuff, right? A lot of stuff. And so she just wanted to let y'all know that she represent, okay? So while y'all talking down, she said some of y'all in your 20s, y'all can't represent like this. So shout out to Miss Sean. I appreciate you for sharing that. Miss Sean is a beautiful lady, and some of y'all better hope that y'all on point when y'all reach 50. I think some of y'all out the race already. But hey, you know, maybe you start eating your fruits and vegetables. So I think somebody was there. Y'all was hating because she said she had a child at 41. And, you know, that's not, I didn't put the picture. She sent some picture of the kid, but I didn't want to put the kid in the photos. But shout out to Miss Sean. So y'all capping, y'all was hating. Well, now, eat your motherfucking words. I'll take the thing off. Okay, there we go. All right, let's get some calls in. Bow. Bada bing, bada boom. All right, cool. All right. Yeah, can't take them nowhere, just Sarah. Just can't take them nowhere. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's why I leave them in the den. I don't take them nowhere. We talking the den, but I gotta leave y'all in the den. I can't take them nowhere, man. All right, so Miss K Grace got the 10,000 pistachios, and even if you would have got it right, female pimp, I'd have gave it to somebody else. I would have never gave you. I would have never gave you those pistachios. So there we go. There we go. Let's get this party started, man. Let's get this party started right. Let's get this party started quickly. Hold on. Let me get it all booted. Let me get everything in order. Wait till the number appear on the screen. You know, when the number ain't on the screen, but sometimes I do be forgetting. I ain't gonna lie. I do. I do. Players fuck up. Oh, you don't like fake pistachios? Okay, check your pistachio account in about 3 minutes, and we gonna see. Okay, we showing out today. That's what we doing today. We showing out. Okay, folks want to share their photo. I got another one for y'all. Give me just a second. Let me fix the microphone. Hold on. There we go. Hold on. All right, can you hear me now?
Hey, it's Belle. How you doing?
I'm doing well, Miss Bell. How are you today?
Good. I figured get first call in, first shot at this. I actually have a question for you.
Okay.
With the theme for today of looking at a book at a cover, what's the difference between looking at a book and judging it by a cover and profiling? This is the white girl asking because I need to know the answer.
That's a very good question. My deal with profiling is I understand it. Do I think it's good? Absolutely not. I think there's certain situations that should determine more factors than others, but I understand why it happens. You know, I understand why it goes on. But I think there's a point in profiling where there should be a determination, and I think that's where the issues come in. So, yeah, you know, people want to ride nice cars, especially if you have a real nice car and maybe a questionable neighborhood. You would think, okay, well, if you live in here and it's a very shoddy neighborhood, but you drive a Mercedes Benz, you know, on the year or some shit like that, you're questioning, well, why would somebody do that unless they, you know, are making some type of profits? Most people who have vehicles like that wouldn't be in this area, wouldn't be in this neighborhood. But if you go and you pull this person over and you see, hey, well, this person is in a suit and tie and, you know, they're carrying themselves a certain way, I think that, you know, that's where an adjustment should be made. But I think certain people get, they lump associations all together, you know, and once they have something set in their mind, they're determined to make it true. So I think that there are issues with that, and I've seen it go, you know, other ways. I've seen people in, you know, maybe not so nice cars in nice neighborhoods, either going to do work or going to do other things, and, you know, they get stopped. So I think it goes a variety of ways. I've seen, you know, even, and it's not just to me always just a black or white thing. I've seen, you know, white people in nice vehicles get stopped because they were assumed to be buying drugs in black neighborhoods and things like that. So I think that you have to. There should be I mean, I can understand how things catch people's interest. It's just how it happens. It's human nature. Like that's what a lot of people have to realize. Like it's human nature, and then there's a lot of things that if you carry yourself a certain way, people are going to respond a certain way. And it's hard to tell the difference. So, like for example, I don't think it's just drug dealers. I don't think it's just gangsters that like old school cars, fixing them up, putting loud music in them. I think people who work hard. I know a lot of people who have careers and work hard, you know, and they have what we call slabs down here, or you can call them custom cars or whatever it may be. But it looks just like a drug dealer or somebody who would have the same thing. If you playing the same type of music, you know, you playing some type of rap music, it's real loud, you know, your system bang, whatever. I understand why it happens. Do I think it's right? Not necessarily, but I mean, how can you tell the difference just, you know, from a distance? You have to get in close. You have to understand something. You have to see some things for yourself. But what I think is that a lot of those situations, even after all the signs tell you, okay, this person isn't doing this, everything else looks legit or whatever. I think some people are just so determined to get the outcome that they want because they feel like their judgment is always correct. Some people just can't stand being wrong about something, that they push an issue, they force an issue that may not have originally been there, instead of really trying to be maybe, I won't say unbiased, but as little bias as they possibly can in those interactions.
think that's true on some level, but I also think the fact that familiarity breeds contempt, and the fact that when it's something that you're used to, it's something that they go with. Is it right? No. But that's where the lines get crossed, because you just take it at face value and go, well, you know, it looks like a duck, walks like a duck. Again, not necessarily a duck. But it also works in all sorts of walks of life, too. And one of the other things that I find interesting was the photo. Really beautiful young lady, and the fact is everybody talked trash about her. Pretty damn sad. Sidebar, different part. On the phone, people don't always recognize whether or not somebody's white, black, Hispanic. Yeah, you can tell to a certain degree. And due to the fact that I've spoken pretty much my New England accent most of the time, y'all know that I come from Boston area. But the fact is that we don't always know who's on the other end of the phone, and there's always a presumption because somebody speaks proper that they're white, and that really pisses me off. And it doesn't always mean just because you have a degree means you're educated, because you can still be an educated fool.
I agree.
And these are things that are like offset from maybe where you were going with this, but they're all being prejudged. Personally, I think that we do it not just for the fact that it's something that we used to, it's precautionary. It's from the life lessons and examples that we had growing up. I grew up in a very white community, so it didn't mean that I wasn't exposed to other cultures. It just meant that when you're used to that and you go into more diverse or different cultural things, you look for examples of what's going to feel familiar to you. And so I find that that's an interesting aspect for the fact that the last 25 years I've had a relationship with somebody in the African American culture and finding more things that were alike than different. And it would be presumed that because we were culturally opposed that there would be more differences than likenesses. Again, on the surface, looking at the book on the cover.
Okay. So do you think, who do you think kind of pushed it? Do you think that's either on people who just don't go and find out for themselves? Do you think that's kind of a media thing that we're actually, how you just said, that there's more likenesses than difference, but for some reason we assume that, you know, we're just all on far ends of the spectrum? Like,
okay. Honestly, I think it's laziness on one part. Secondly, being white, I don't have a whole lot of room in this road to say anything, but this is just not a feeling or an opinion, but just a thought that's happened over the last few years. African Americans have been upset for the fact that they were done wrong, which they were. There is absolutely no deniability, not even going there. But the fact is that they want to be brought a part of the game, but then once they become a part of the game, they want to be exclusive to not have to bring whites or other cultures into what they're doing. So it makes them really no different than what the whites were doing on a different level. And I might be looking at it in a skewed vent. I'm just sitting back and kind of watching socially and culturally what has happened. I mean, if you look at BET, which is predominantly black entertainment, which is fine. It's what it is. It's owned by predominantly African American people, which is fine. But for a culture that wants to be, what's the word I want, embraced and included, it's like now that they've got power, it's like they want to exclude other cultures. And so that's something I don't see talked about either as, you know, reading the book on the cover about things.
Okay. I see that. I could definitely see that. But outside of that, just to really have nothing to do with it, I think BET is a terrible, terrible thing. But that's a whole other conversation.
Okay, it was just a short-term example, you know?
Yeah, I got you.
I mean, I think that there's great magazines out there like Essence and Jet and Ebony, and I mean, they have things for all different cultures. But what I'm saying is that African Americans were upset about the exclusivity about quote-unquote the white people doing it. But now that they've become part of the club, it's like now they want to exclude others out. So how do you justify that?
I think that works on with all, because I was looking at when we talked about even some of the other more alphabet situations and things, that I think that it's like all groups are like that to an extent, where once they feel like they've been kept on the outside for so long, once you kind of jockey for position and you're holding maybe a certain area or platform, then you kind of want to treat others as how you felt that you've been treated. And I don't know why that is. That's something I have definitely noticed, because I don't think, like, a lot of times with certain situations, it's not necessarily about equality. It's about power. It's about actually having more power than equality. It's not about a level playing field. And again, like I said, go ahead. I'm sorry.
So the thought is does everybody become crabs in a bucket?
I don't know. I mean, that's a terrible thing. You would hope that it would be more about uplifting.
It's just an observation of power. I mean, and think about it. When we were kids and you go outside and you play pig pile on it's about who was at the top, who was the king of the hill. Well, sometimes it comes down to basic elementary stuff.
Okay.
Doesn't all have to be that deep.
Yeah, and I think, power is power. I think that transcends everything, People just want power naturally.
Coming back to what we were talking about with looking at a book on its cover, it's trying to figure out where that power belongs.
Yeah.
And perceiving what is going to happen next. Anyway, you got any more questions for me, or are we all good today?
I think we're good. I don't think I have anything.
That was pretty cool. All right, I'm back on the boards, and have a good one.
I really appreciate the call, Miss Bell.
All right.
All right. That is good. I mean, that's the thing. All right, look, we got some more photos coming in. Folks say they want to represent. Look, let y'all know what they're working with. Give me just a second here. But that is a thing, and with a lot of groups, like I say, I don't even think it's just the black thing. I think it's a lot of groups. But some groups find more success in that mentality than others. That we get to a certain level, we have achieved a certain level of success, and now we're going to be, exclusive. But that exclusivity can be dangerous to a certain extent. What's the motherfucking deal? Who do we have calling into the den this afternoon?
What's going on there, Mr. Honcho?
Oh, man, not too much. Man up, what's the motherfucking deal, man? What's on your mind this evening or afternoon?
Let me turn my TV down real quick. Yeah, I was just calling in, man, because I forgot the lady name that just called in right before me. I forgot her name that fast.
Miss Bell.
But I think she had some good points there. Mm-hmm. But let me say this here. I'm going to throw out a couple of names out there. We all know who they are, but let's just assume we don't know who they are. Let's just go with that motion for a quick hot little second. Okay. Well, I'm gonna just throw out one name. I'm gonna say Lil Wayne, because when you first started, you was talking about the face tattoos and stuff like that. People gonna judge you. And let's just take out the name. Let's just what's going on, Miss Rashida? How you doing? Let's just go. Just like I said, let's just take that name, Lil Wayne. We all know who he is. But let's just say you did not know who he is and you saw him walking down the street. What's the first thing you would do?
Well, if I seen him walking down the street, especially with all that blonde hair and all that weird shit, I wouldn't. Maybe my approach is different, but I'd just be like, I definitely question him, in his motives. I would judge him. I definitely look at this little nigga here, and he probably up to no good, up to some shenanigans or something. So I'm just gonna be a little bit more on guard than I would, in a normal situation, just because I don't know.
My bad. I thought you was done. My bad. Sorry, I didn't catch you off.
No, I'm just saying, just that I don't know.
That's exactly what. Okay, that's exactly what I'm talking about right there. So, and what I'm saying about all of this here, just saying this here, is that when you're saying judging a book by its cover, I mentioned this several times before. But I'm gonna say it again for those that might not have heard me say this before in the past. If you didn't know who Lil Wayne is, You seen him walking down the street. Yeah, of course, your first thing is you got to see this guy with all his facial tattoos, long hair, dreadlocks. You think he was, saying he finna come rob you, try to kill you or something. But a lot of people don't know that Lil Wayne was labeled a genius when he graduated from the University of Houston. The man is very smart, very intelligent. It's just that how he presents himself. Like we talked about this plenty times before. It's how he presents himself. People's going to take you a certain way, and that is so true. I've had these conversations with plenty of people, plenty of times before. Oh, they look at me like this here or this and that. They do this and they do that to me. And I'm like, you know what? I'm not saying they do or don't do it to you, but sometimes you got to take some self accountability as well too. So some responsibility with this as well. And what I mean by that is how you talk to people, how you approaching them. We as men, we like to act all macho here and there. We like to walk down the street with our chest out and stuff. Motherfuckers don't think that, we finna go get into a fight and some shit like that. You feel what I'm saying? So it's you as a person that has to sit back and say, okay, why am I getting this from everybody? Complete strangers that don't know each other, but I'm the one that I'm getting this from. If I go to this Walmart, if I go to this Sonic, if I go to this McDonald's, if I go to this, whatever, go to this park. You know what I'm saying? And I'm getting the same reaction from everybody. A lot of people don't like to hold themselves accountable. They just don't like to say like, everybody's hating. They just jealous. They want to be like me. Whatever crap that'll come to their head. A lot of people don't like to take self-accountability on things like that. So when it comes to saying judging a book by its cover, yeah, we all do it. It's human nature. I'm guilty of it myself. I'm not gonna lie and say I'm not. I am. Excuse me. But you gotta also say that it also depends on how you approaching people, how you talking to people, how you acting, how you dress, how you look, how you all that stuff. Because if I just head on down the street to the corner store, just go get a gallon of milk and walking back home. And that's like I said, if I seen Lil Wayne walking up towards me, finna walk past me, of course I'm gonna, be on guard. I'm gonna be ready because I don't know who the hell this motherfucker is with these tattoos, dreadlocks, tattoos all over his face, look like he finna do something to me. So of course I'm gonna be on guard. Even though he might just say, hey, what's going on? How you doing, man? Hey, happy 4th of July to you, something like that. Just keep it moving. You know what I'm saying? And then as we pass each other, I'm not gonna lie, I'm gonna be watching my back. You know what I'm saying? Because that's the impression that you're giving off on people. You know what I'm saying? And I can go on and on. I can name other people as well too. You mentioned it before, 2 Chainz. You know what I'm saying? Graduated with a college degree. That's another one as well too. I can't think of his name right now at the top of my head, but there's several of them. And I'm only naming these people because they are well known. You know what I'm saying? But if you did not know who they are, the first thing that we would do is sit here and say, I don't know what this motherfucker can do. I'm finna, just be on guard, just be ready, just in case something goes down. You know what I'm saying? Even though they might not do anything to you. You know what I'm saying? They could be the friendliest person in the world. But just your appearance, of course, is going to make you judge them by how they look. You know what I'm saying? I get that myself too. You know what I'm saying? I walk down the street, y'all seen me before. I got my long beard going. I got tattoos. I'm bald headed and stuff. People look at me like they think like I'm going to do something to them when I'm not. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So it's just your appearance on how you things like that. And then when I'm sorry, I forgot the lady's name. What was her name again? That just called before me.
Miss Bell.
Miss Bell?
Yes, Miss Southern Bell. Yes.
Oh, okay. All right, Miss Bell did hit, yeah. And Strawberry 3-2, you right too. Plies is the same way too. She's the same. I mean, he's the same way. I'm sorry. Plies is the same way. He got a college degree, and a lot of people don't know that. But anyway, yeah, Miss Bell hit on the head. When we represent ourselves, it's kind of like, to me, it's kind of the same thing about judging a book by its cover. Because how you represent it is how you're going to get judged. That's just what it is. It sucks. I know it ain't right. It's dumb, stupid, whatever you want to call it, but that's just the way it is. And I'm not telling nobody you should change this or change that, because I know me, I'm not going to change too much of who I am. But I do know the repercussions of my actions, of what I like to do and what I don't like to do. You know what I'm saying? I know that Well, if I can't go to try to get a job, you know what I'm saying, dress up like I'm a homeless guy. I know that ain't gonna fly when if I go try to get a job somewhere. You know what I'm saying? But if I went to that same job in a 3-piece suit, they might hire me right on the spot without asking me no questions. So it just depends on how you present yourself. Of course, that's how you're going to get judged. You know what I'm saying? So, and we talked about this before too. Like you, Honcho. You know, people are always talking about that you look like Clowney and I can't think of the dude's name from the Rockets right now. Golly.
Nene.
But Nene and the other one, Fareed.
Fareed, yeah.
Yeah, see, just because you're dreadlocks, you know what I'm saying? I mean, if I'm not mistaken, I think you said that one time somebody thought you were Jamaican.
Yeah, man, yeah.
Because of your dread.
I had, all kind of every islands I didn't even know about. People be asking for, what?
See, that's what I'm saying, because, you know, so it's not necessarily always a bad thing. And sometimes it just, like I said, it's human nature. It's, you know, you're going to be caution yourself for certain things. Now, it can be a bad thing on how you come about it. You know what I'm saying? Just to come out and say that just because you got dreadlocks, you're Jamaican, that's kind of crazy, because a lot of people in the South have dreadlocks. So all over the South, Florida, North Carolina, you know, Louisiana, you know, everywhere. You know what I'm saying? So that ain't nothing new. So but saying that, yeah, that part is wrong. But assuming, I mean, like I said, that is human nature. So I don't think that's too much of a bad thing. But it's also, you know what I'm saying, just a cautionary human nature type of thing, I guess you could say. But I ain't gonna hold on too long. I know you got the 10-minute rule, and I probably went over my 10 minutes.
Nah, you good. You got a bit of something.
But yeah, you got anything for me though?
Yeah, man, I'm gonna give you a shout out while you're on the line, man. And if you want to post the links to the other channels so they can have access to both channels in there to check out What It Do, your What It Do channel. And if y'all want some of the world's greatest cookies, okay, you're talking to the man with the plan is on the line right now. Hit up one of his channels, leave a comment in one of the comment section on one of the videos. He'll definitely get with you so you can know how you can get some of those the Man Up's good ass cookies, the GAC. So man, get y'all some of that. Again, like I say, we was talking about small business the other day, and trust me, I support small business, and I love everybody who has something going on. If you got something going on, y'all reach out to and let me know. But if y'all want some of them good ass cookies, man, make sure you hit up Man Up, aka Man Cave Sports TV, and man, get y'all some. Don't miss out on the opportunity at the ground level.
I mean, I appreciate that. I did leave a comment in chat that I appreciate the cookie hype, man. That was, you know, that I really do appreciate that. But if anybody do want something, just hit me up. I don't have any social media because I'm not a big social media guy. But just leave me a comment, and I will one day. I don't know when. I'm gonna have to go against my own will and get a social media going for my cookies.
Yeah, that's the move,
man. Get that up and going.
yeah, that's the move. I mean, this trust me. I don't really care for social media too much myself, and people be getting on my ass. So all sports should have more followers. The dead should have more followers on social media. I'm not big on a lot of it because it's just a lot of tomfoolery that goes on, and I guess my mentality doesn't. I'm gonna have to find me somebody to handle social media or someone who's more adept and who enjoys it, but. Yeah, you gotta get into the social media game because it's just a plus. It's just a necessary evil at this point.
Yeah, I have seen some other things on it that do help people and stuff like that. So I will get up on that and I will get everything going. So, and Lady Todd, so I'll help you say that. You're right, advertising is gold. But anyway, I ain't gonna stay on too long, man. I appreciate you taking my call, man. I'm in the home finish cleaning up. I'll holler at you, man.
Nah, I ready to shout out to man. I appreciate you calling in, man.
All right, have a good one.
All right, you too. Now, for everybody who came in late, y'all missed, all y'all haters. Miss Sean sent in some photos and played a guessing game earlier of, who was this den folk. And shout out to Miss K. Grace, she won. So I have another photo someone sent in, and I'm going to allow you guys to guess who it is. After this little thing does what it does, and whoever can guess who this den folk is will win another 10,000 pistachios to gamble away with because y'all have poor pistachio budgets and y'all just be losing all your pistachio stash. But me, I'm like the government, I'm like the feds. I can just create more pistachio money out of anywhere. I just give myself all the pistachios I want. That's what a player do. So give me a second. Let me set up this. Let me put this other photo up, and let me do this here. Bada bing, bada boom, Betty boop. And for whomever can guess who this den folk is, another 10K on the way. Let me adjust this to some size correctly so it fits in the screen. Matter of fact, I'm gonna put it in. I'm gonna put you in the TV with me. Hold up. Let's be right here. Actually, right here. That'll work. Okay. All right. Actually, let's widen it up like so. There we go. So y'all can get a better look. So, guess the den folk. And get you another 10K. Now, there was something Miss Bell said that I wanted to expand on. And this is a thing that I think a lot of people overlook. And this is a perspective that I have. Now, she said familiarity breeds contempt. And she talked about how growing up in a mostly white neighborhood, when she would interact with other cultures, she would look for things that she was familiar with, right? And I think that, Sweet Berry won that one quickly. All right. I don't want to give Sweet Berry any fucking pistachios because she know my goddamn nerve, but I'm going to give them to her. I got to be a man of my word. Yes. Yes. All right. So shout out to Miss K. Grace. Let me see. I'm going to call you Sweet Berry 33 so somebody else gets pistachios. Let me see. There we go. But, so another den folk. And like I say, we have some very, Empress SQ, what's the motherfucking deal? Bad Bougie, what's the motherfucking deal? Shout out to everybody who I may have missed, who have joined in a little bit later. But again, we've had some interesting things going to see. She said, that is Miss Craig Gray says, that's me at 63 years old, taken 3 months ago. Now, hey, look, some of y'all got to step your game up. Some of y'all folks, been in the game a little bit less. We had Miss Shaw. She sent a pic of her at 50. Miss K. Grace at 63. And some of y'all is 33, 30, maybe in your late 20s. Looking a little rough. Y'all better start adjusting. You better start adjusting your diet. That's all I'm gonna say. Y'all better stop. Look, some of y'all can't get none of Man Up cookies. All right. So even though I'm promoting Man Up cookies, some of y'all can't get none. Some of y'all gotta. I'm talking shit, babe. Do what you want to do. Shout out to the lovely ladies of the den, all the denettes, and I appreciate those of you who wanted to share so the folks can have an idea. Shout out to Miss K. Gray. Shout out to Miss Shawn. None of y'all niggas better not send no photos. Y'all ain't getting no love. I don't rock with y'all niggas like that. But Miss Bell was saying something, right? Miss Bell was saying something about growing up in a majorly white neighborhood and then having experience with the African American community and looking for things that were familiar. That's the way human nature works. We're going to look for things that we are familiar with, things that we can relate to or have seen before or whatever it may be. So that's why, like, when I see an Asian person do some form of martial art, I can relate to it. Okay? I can relate to it. Oh, I didn't give you the pistachios? Oh, my bad. Oh, my fault. Players fuck up. That was not intentional. I wish it was. That would have been so much better if it was intentional. But, darn, I wish I would have really thought about that. It was not intentional. I wasn't thinking about it. I was doing 2 or 3 things at once. So there you go. There go your little funky pistachios. But, and so that's the thing. Like, and I don't think a lot of people look at it like that. A lot of people assume we all grow up the same way. That's another thing with judging a book, right? We all assume if a person looks a certain way, then they had to grow up a certain way. You got a lot of niggas who grew up in the suburbs but they are very familiar with maybe hip hop culture or whatever you want to call it, or they got a certain rapper, and so they dressing like niggas coming straight out the hood, and so motherfuckers assume a person who is not integrated or initiated or whatever you want to call it in the culture is going to assume, well, all these niggas are the same. And so that's why you have issues where somebody's like, oh, well, this dude ain't even, how is a person supposed to know if they're not into that? They might be purely classic rock. They may not know about it. They just see niggas who dress like this getting a bad rap. So they may not be able to tell the difference. Generally you can tell if a motherfucker's on some shit by their demeanor, the way they act, the way they carry themselves, as opposed to somebody who's just playing into the culture, right? So I think there's a big difference. What's the motherfucking deal? Who do we have calling into the den this afternoon?
This is Miss Grace Pumpkin. How you doing?
How are you, Miss Grace? How is your day going today?
Thank you for putting that picture up there, because I told you my daughter was horrified when I first called and the people make the comments and she wanted to make sure I was okay. I said, no, it's a community, and that's what I said. The comments between watching Honcho's expressions, listening to the calls, listening to Rashida cussing out people while she's talking to you, and reading the chat. I said, all of that is such entertainment. I said, so we're all good. We're good. But listen, when I run into people and they do things, I look at their intent. Because different cultures and the different ways that people were brought up, sometimes they might say and do something, but they intended no harm. If I know that you intended to do something to me, I'm going to be angry. But if you didn't know, then you just need an education. That goes for children, that goes for adults, that goes for everyone. When people start jumping and getting all crazy real fast with people, that further causes the divide to me.
Exactly.
And then also, when you're talking about tattoos in the beginning, I have 2 little tattoos. And my tiny tattoos, or lack of more tattoos or bigger tattoos, let you know that I'm a coward, because that shit hurts.
It hurt? What? It hurt? Nah.
Freaking hurt. Yeah.
Where do you have your tattoos at, Miss Grace?
Okay, I have a long stem rosebud on the back of my shoulder, like the arm part. Mm-hmm. And then I have my kids. I have an M&M on the back of my neck, a tiny M&M. And not because I do any free advertisement for M&M candy. It's because my kids, those are their initials. Mm-hmm. I named my son, and he was so wonderful. And then when I had the girl 8 years later, I named her after her brother, to see if she would come out as wonderful, and it worked. Okay. So my children are my M&Ms.
Okay. Which one hurt more to you?
Okay. Would you say?
Which of the tattoos hurt more?
They both hurt equally. Are you kidding me? That crap hurt. And I won't get it. And I wanted my granddaughter to draw like a little heart or something, a little tiny one so I can put on, but I just cannot bear it. And I can deal. I have a high tolerance for pain. I'm not afraid of needles and things like that. But that constant scratching, like a needle scraping into your skin, that's ridiculous. There's got to be a better way. It hurt. It hurt. Okay, the other thing is, I'm a firm believer that people do and can change.
Okay.
You know what I mean? And there's a saying, you do what you know. When you know better, you do better. Some things remain the same, and sometimes dependent on your survival techniques, you're going to sway and you're going to change a bit. Just like with children, my job being a master teacher, I had to get my degree in how the brain works, and to sit there and zero in on children's or people's learning styles. While some kids are concrete sequential, or some people are concrete sequential, others are abstract random, like you. and that's a higher intelligence. So people don't stay one kind of learning style. Even when most people are like visual learners, and teachers would say, okay, let's keep doing everything visually. I said, no, I don't do it that way. If they're visual learners, we cannot ignore the auditory skills. So we have to get those up. So I would start teaching them using visual techniques. But I sit there and start pulling back on the visual techniques and start increasing the auditory techniques. So that they're better well-rounded, and they can adapt and have a more well-rounded learning style, okay? The other thing is that picture up there. I told you I love that word, slim thick. I've been this size since I was like 12 years old, and I had to constantly play my sexy down. Because all my life I've had to fight off men and boys. You know what I mean? And so I'm real careful about not getting myself in those compromising predicaments. You mean I'm not going to, like, even I said, I hope no one gets offended that I say that I'm not going to stay in the house with them in Vegas. You mean, but it's just a survival technique.
Yeah, I agree.
You know what I mean? I just have to stay away, and I'm constantly in my stance. It's something that I had to do. And another reason why I had to play my sexy down is because while I looked one way to people, you mean I had different motives. I had a job to do, and more than anything, I had my most important job to do, and that was being a mother to my son. When I had him, I took an oath to God that I was going to be the best mother that I could possibly be. You know what I mean? And he would get embarrassed because I looked a certain kind of way. So I always tried to play it down because I was his mother, and that's what I needed to look like first before being a sexy object.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
I agree.
Yeah, and that's just me. Okay? And then the other thing is learning people. I tell my kids, don't look at how people look like one another. Watch and see how they move, how they hesitate, how their eyes shift, and how their eyes work, and how they pause and do all of those things, because that will give you an in-depth look to how they're wired. Watch and see how they move, you know, and the shifts and the pauses and things like that. Watch those things. Okay, what else did I have down here? And then I would tell my students, I said, yes, I was a young mother, and they wanted me to work with a parent and teens program. I wouldn't do it because I was put on this earth to be a mother. I was. Remember I told you I was a kid fantasizing about being married and having kids. Ever since I was like in the 5th, 6th grade, I've been this way. No. You know, so I said I didn't want to work with the parent and teens because I didn't want every girl thinking that it was okay to get pregnant and have babies, because I don't think that it is. But for me, you know what I mean, it worked, and my son made me the woman that I am. You know what I mean? Everything I do, you mean, will my kids be embarrassed by this decision that I'm making? Like, I messed up a little bit running away from home because my mother was strict, and I thought that I could change him. You know what I mean? But I told you, I have not lived with a man again since I was 19 years old, and I am now 63. Never did it again because I'm pretty careful. Okay? So you could say, oh, Miss Grace is Scott. No, I have a wonderful life. Life is grand. My kids are okay. I'm comfortable. I live well. I'm always laughing. People say, Miss Grace is always laughing. She's always laughing. You better keep me laughing, because there's no down the middle with me. If I like you, I love you. If I don't like you, then I hate you. And if I like you, I would do anything. I want to present the world to you at your feet. And I wait for people to cross me and mess over me, because then I back up, and you cannot ever tell me you're sorry. You have to show me that you're sorry, and you're so broken up behind what you did to me because I'm so good that you're really going to have to show through actions, and not one little action, actions, to ever get back into my good graces again. Because when people mess up on me, that's one less person that I have to worry about being good to and going out of my way for, because that's what I enjoy doing. That's just me.
I agree.
You know, so, I'm trying to think what else. And you know what else I like about you, Honcho? When I call, you look like an adorable, the little boy comes out. And I said, it's a sign of respect. You know, when I go back and look at it, because I put everything on pause, I go back and look at it, there's a whole different look, and it's a sign of respect, and I greatly appreciate that. And this den, you have no idea what you all mean to me, seriously.
Well, Miss K,
I love everybody. And I don't want to stay on the phone anymore, you know, but if I hit the lottery, all the people in the den and us, we're all going on a trip.
That might be a wild trip. Oh, man, I could only imagine.
Exactly. Okay, but I'm going to get off this phone. My son is downstairs. The kids and I just went out to eat with my granddaughter, and I'm fussing with them because the granddaughter's a vegetarian. She doesn't want to go eat here. My daughter wanted to go there. My son wanted to go there, and I had to pull rank.
No.
I'm the one that's older. I could die any day now. You all better get it together and do what I want. You know, I out there, and it works.
That's funny. That's funny. Well, Miss K. Grace, you know we appreciate you. We love hearing from you, and I appreciate you for sharing the picture with us and, you know, being an outstanding example.
That's right. Thank you so much, my dear. Have a good one.
All right, you too, Miss K. Grace. Thank you for calling.
Bye-bye.
Do I do that? I don't know. I like Miss K. Grace, though. I love to hear what she says. And like I said, you know, I guess that is a sign of respect. I don't know. I didn't ever think about it like that. Yeah, Miss K. Grace gets a lot more respect. Some of y'all be on some shenanigans, so y'all ain't gonna get. Don't think y'all gonna get the. You don't think y'all gonna get the K. Grace treatment. Miss Empress SQ. I was reading what you were saying, man, and I'm thankful that you are okay. I'm thankful that, you know, hopefully everybody is all right and back to 100%. And that's very unfortunate, but I'm glad that you could join us. But I'm glad most of all that you're all right. That's terrible. That is terrible. I think it's Professor Trill. Professor Trill. Professor Trill sent me something interesting the other day for all you Beyonce fans. I'm just going. That's all I'm gonna say. That's all I'm gonna say. You know, people get mad. People get mad when you just kind of meh on Beyonce. People attack. The Beehive comes out, you start getting stung, and all I'm gonna say is, look, y'all be talking Beyonce is this, that, and the third, and I'm not saying she's an ugly woman. I've never said that, but I wouldn't even say she's number one in her own family. I'm gonna leave it at that. But this is what this is, a judging den kind of. But Ms. Grace said something, man, about people's actions and about how they treat you. And I'm a firm believer in that, man. Like, if y'all notice, I try to do my best to be kosher with everybody. I try my best to listen to everyone. I try to embrace everybody, regardless of your beliefs, regardless of your background, you know, your thoughts, whether we agree on certain things, disagree on other things, whatever it may be. But I'm the same way. If you play me foul, but that's generally it. I've said that a couple of times, that I give everybody respect, a certain level of respect. So, and I go above and beyond being respectful. But when you dismiss that, or you play me a certain way, I don't feel bad about how I respond to you after that. You know what I'm saying? I don't feel bad. It's an email. The Didn't Show Live, that Gmail email? Unless you were talking to somebody else. My thing is this. It's rare, because I think people are more negative towards you these days than they are, you know, wanting to be respectful or treating you a certain way. And I know that because we're talking about judging, I've said myself that I judge people. But even people I judge, I still handle them the same way, but always in the back of my mind, it's like, I'm like, okay, well, there is a potential for this, there's a potential for that, and you have to be cautious because certain things are giving me certain signs, and I'm going to respond to those, and I may be more sensitive to those signs with dealing with certain people than other people. It just is what it is. So, you know, that's just kind of how it goes. The tattoos thing. I don't think tattoos. How many people in here got? Okay, here we're gonna do a test, right? It's kind of this is a quick poll, but a more complicated quick poll. And anytime I do a yes or no quick poll, 0 is always no, because 0 is nothing. 1 is always yes. some old binary shit, I guess. Non-binary, gender fluid, nonsense. So the question is, if you have tattoos, 0, leave a 0. Or if you don't, I'm sorry, if you don't have tattoos, leave a 0. If you do have tattoos, leave a 1. And then I want you to say, actually type out yes or no if they were painful to you. Okay. I'm just curious of how, people think. There's an email there, didn't show live at gmail.com. Okay. Well, okay. A lot of non-tattoos. If it's 0 if you have no tattoos, put a 1 if you do have tattoos, but put a yes or no if the tattoo is painful. So if you put 1, also add yes or no if you felt like the tattoo is painful. Branding. I think that's a different thing, but yeah, I mean, if you I guess if you want to count that as some type of look, I'm gonna tell y'all, man, I had thought about some of that shit before. I've seen some people get brand. I remember one though, being in college, one of them Q Dog niggas that got a brand or whatever. And that shit looked so terrible. Like right afterwards, right after he got that shit, I was just like, you know what? Yeah, I'm cool on that. I'm just, I ain't gonna do it. I ain't gonna do it. Okay. Say one, yes, okay. Yes, I am nosy, being very nosy. Until the first 5 minutes just felt like glass being dragged across the skin. Yeah, I can understand that. That's definitely can understand that. A military situation, I think, is much different. Because then you're like, again, you're talking about life or death situation. I had a homeboy, he was talking about, some of his things, and he was in the Marines. And I don't want to mess the story all up, but basically, in a paraphrasing, I guess, or shortening it down, he was talking about how, I don't know if they were doing some type of, if it was training or what. He was talking about how one of his good buddies they were jumping out of a plane, and his parachute didn't open, and basically seeing that situation happen, and he was talking about some of the tattoos and things. I don't know if he got any brands or anything like that. Now he's a I don't know if he's a politician, but he's definitely doing some various things. But he's extremely liberal. Still my partner, but very, very liberal. So yeah, I can definitely imagine that's a whole different ball game. No, this is a hot Cheeto. Your favorite kind of chip. Yeah, it's gonna have to be something. I don't know. I don't think there's at this point, unless I join the Illuminati, I don't think I'll be getting any brands. Yeah, I don't think I'll be getting any brands, unless I get inducted into, I gotta start a rap career so I can join the Illuminati and all that other good stuff. But you finna leave? Where you finna leave to? You going back across the way? Bring me some of them street tacos when you come back. And you're done, take you to the store with small cigarettes and cigars. Man, I got something. Okay. I remember we did some stupid shit when we were young, man, and we kind of did something like that when we were young. I told y'all we used to have a little rap group in high school or whatever. We used to throw parties and do other little shit too. But I remember this one time we was all like, "Yeah, man, for the group, we gonna do this." We were being dumb, but then everybody ended up doing it, and so it was like had a big fucking, fat ass store incense and shit. Like the little cheap ones would be like 10 cents, 25 cents or whatever. The big ones would be like $1 or so. And so that bitch was burning in the studio Probably because I was the only one in there smoking. I probably had it smell like weed and shit. And so we all, well, not all of us, a couple of us, well, didn't. We all took it and burned ourselves with it for whatever reason. Don't ask me why. You know, that was our little goofy ritual or whatever. And, you know, you had to burn. I forgot how long we kept it on there. For a few seconds, not super duper long. And so everybody had to do it. And, you know, everybody did, even like the little chick who was like our assistant. She wasn't like, I wouldn't say assistant, but she would hang around and just like help out with little stuff. She even did it. But it was one nigga that did not do it. One nigga that did not do it. Everybody else did it, but one nigga didn't do it. And so we would clown for that for quite some time. But yeah, as far as just, it would have to really be something. It would have to really be something. And I definitely, you took the burn, you took your brand sober culture. You were like purely sober. Well, what's the motherfucking deal? Who do we have calling into the deal?
I'm not sure. I can't quite find your house. Was it a road or was it a street? What exactly was it?
It was it was a street. It was a dirt road, actually.
Look, you ordered about 20 pizzas and 3 Cokes as well as 2 Sprites, so I'm just here to drop them off.
No, I didn't get no Cokes. Whoever ordered the Cokes? I didn't get
whatever
Cokes.
Party occasion you're having. So
No, it's not a no.
Wherever you
I didn't order any fucking Cokes. No, listen, man, listen. Listen, man, I didn't order any fucking Cokes. The Sprites and then the pizza, that's me.
I don't care. You ordered these pizzas, you gotta pay for them.
I'm gonna pay for the fucking pizza. Just find the fucking house.
No, you have to pay for them.
I'm gonna pay for the fucking pizza.
That's how it works.
Look, man, I don't understand how it works. I already paid. I paid through the fucking app. So what are you talking about?
Your house right now. I'm gonna pull up and we're gonna get this all settled.
Yeah, well, let's do it. Let's do the damn thing.
You have to pay.
I want all the smoke.
Yeah.
These pizzas gonna be free.
Okay.
Yeah, let's bet that. Motherfucker.
You've been pranked by.
That's a fucking crazy prank call. I always find those entertaining. Whenever they do that shit, I like entertaining that shit every now and then. Pretty fucking shit be funny. We ain't had some of those in a while. We used to get a streak of those like every other den or so. They used to be like when the den line first opened up, it used to be a lot of those. Which one's the one with the herpes medicine? I think it was one about a dog or yeah, somebody was trying to buy the dog, and it was a couple of little crazy ones that would always come through. It was always a couple of crazy ones that always come through. I wish a pizza man would call me on that shit. Boy, we finna have a pizza party for free. I want some waffle fries for free. Unforgivable. But that's some old school YouTube shit. Y'all don't know nothing about that. But no, but the thing is about judging a book by its cover. And I think you should. I mean, and I want to say it was, I can't remember if it was Mrs. Grace or Ms. Bell said it was like a precautionary thing that you have to kind of, you got to be aware of stuff. You can't just go into everything oblivious, right? And I do agree that people can change, but I don't know. I think it's a small percentage of people who really do. I think people make small adjustments as they grow. But I mean like major personality changes, I think it's a small percentage. I wouldn't even say a quarter. I feel like maybe 15% and would be being generous as far as, as far as people who make change in their life, significant changes in their life. There's a big tattoo festival that comes through here every night. I've been saying I want to go. I've never went. I'm gonna have to catch it one day. I want some more ink though. It's been a while. It's been a few years since I've got a tattoo. I definitely want some more. So I need to get scarred up a little bit. There's a few things I gotta do that I haven't. I said I want to get in better shape before I start getting some more ink, because I got a few remembrance items that I need to update and get in order. But, to me, and why I was asking about the tattoos, because tattoos are something that people will judge you by. I saw a man up say he had 18 of them. And but tattoos are something that people remember you by. They'll judge you by, and you can tell. Certain people like, well, this person got tattoos, and look, man. If you have tattoos of like Mickey Mouse fighting Mario or some shit on you, man, you think I'm gonna look, oh, this motherfucker's a fucking gangster. He's a motherfucking this or a motherfucking that, and no. But if you got fucking guns and skulls, and you got your fucking set and RIP to 52 different dudes on your shit, well, I'm gonna look at you and say, okay, more than likely, this person has been involved in or associated with some type of whatever. If you got some type of block, some type of street, some type of hood in which you don't own any property, well, you say we're not supposed to judge. I don't be judging. I just adjust the way I handle, the way I approach. I have just a little bit in my mind. We're supposed to cut our skin. Oh, I'm too late. I'm way too late. I am too late. But as opposed to, and I'm gonna handle you different tattoo. But now these tattoo tears, man. Man, I don't know. Cause now you got all these SoundCloud rappers with all these. I said forgiveness granted because I didn't know. Okay, well, I'm gonna act like I ain't read that. The last 3 lines you said. I'm gonna get a couple more and then then I'll go back and get right. Excuse me. But Charlene, what's the motherfucker you say you judge the shit out of motherfucker? Yeah, I mean it happens. We we definitely do. But then like I said, you got some motherfuckers who got some koi fish on their shit, or some old flowers and some other stuff as opposed to just some I don't know, some nonsense. It is what it is. You're gonna look at it differently, man. So when people show you who you are, believe me, yeah, absolutely. Because sometimes we want to believe that certain people are this or they can be this, and you can see the potential in people. You can see the potential in people and hope that they develop into that. But sometimes it just doesn't happen. Now, sometimes it's not going to happen overnight, but sometimes it's going to, maybe take a little bit of progress. But if you see a person working towards that, I think that's different than, just expecting them to instantly change. It's not going to happen. So a sleeve, yeah, that's a whole deal. Bad news. What's the bad news, dude? I was just about to hit him 2 clicks, click. Excuse me. Good grief. But what I was saying is that the reason why, to me personally, I feel that they are therapeutic to me. I mean, to me, sometimes you just have pain that you need to release. And I think that people get tattoos. For some people get, in remembrance of things. Some people get it because they like certain things. Some people get it for whatever reason it may be. They want to, represent they set. They want to set trip. But I think, to me, a lot of it has been, some of them were some stupid shit. But sometimes it's just like, and I don't want to say it's pain, because it's not. It's more annoying than it is painful. Me personally, again, different people, different things. To me, it's more annoying than it is painful. And that's kind of my deal. It's just sometimes you want to release that stress, maybe. And again, I guess maybe it's just a good way. I mean, I find them very therapeutic. I've never found them really painful. I have a couple of them. Like I say, I know when people tell me when you get hit up across your chest or whatever, it's supposed to hurt real bad. That didn't really hurt. On the back and the shoulder blades were across the top of my back. That didn't really hurt. Now, they aren't really, they were thin. Some of them were than just writing or something. So maybe because it's not as detailed, maybe as certain other things, it might not be as bad. But You know, they're talking about when you get hit on the collarbone. It's supposed like to you know, people say when you hit that bone, it's supposed to hurt. But to me, they were never really that bad. I don't really find it that bad. I enjoy it. Okay. That's a very good question. That was just text. Again, it's. I think it's more to it than that. I think to me it's the visual. It's when you're judging somebody by their appearance, and they can have certain things. They can have certain attachments. They can have, you know, piercings. They can have all that. I think part of it also goes into the overall presentation. So, like, if they carry themselves a certain way, if they carry themselves with, how do I, like, you can't just automatically see respect in the way they walk, but confidence. I think confidence determines a lot also as to how you look at somebody. If they're kind of slumped, they kind of, you know, shady looking. If they walk with pride and they're confident who they are, I think you look at people differently. What's the motherfucking deal? Who do we have calling into the den today?
What up, Honcho?
The trader. How are you doing today? You jumped off to the Colts team, and I can't believe what I'm. What's the motherfucking deal, D-Love? How you doing today, man?
Oh, it's good. We're gonna go 16-0 this year.
Yeah, absolutely.
But, yep. So yeah, I was asking you, Honcho, do you judge a book by its cover?
Yes.
'Cause I came in a little late and I heard like mixed opinions. So
Yeah,
why do you think that?
I judge, but I don't treat differently. But I would be foolish to say that it doesn't impact the way that I think, because if I am judging, of course it's going to impact the way that I respond. Somebody who may appear one way may get a little bit more leeway in a certain situation as opposed to somebody who may carry themselves in a more rough demeanor. So what I'm saying is, like, say somebody who looks a little bit more timid and tame, you know, like they wouldn't hurt a fly, and they get to talking shit, you just gonna kind of play it off. You're gonna laugh it off because you don't really see that potential for harm or danger or anything like that, as opposed to somebody who may have a more aggressive appearance. Well, then we're gonna cut that leash short and we're gonna see what it's all about, because I'm not finna let you. I'm gonna look at it like, okay, this person has the potential to do something more dangerous. They may want to harm you or whatever, and so I'd be a lie to say that it doesn't impact the way that I respond or the way that I handle people in a certain way, you know. But again, there's lots of little nuance to that, because like I say, they can say something foolish in a joking manner, but you may let certain jokes slide that you wouldn't let slide with someone else, and so I think there's a lot of levels to it too. But yeah, I would be a lie if I said I didn't judge, but I definitely do.
Yeah, man. I don't know. I learned a lot of different things growing up about people. So there was a lot of people that I was quick to judge, and there were a lot of people that were quick to judge me. Yeah. I'm just glad to tell you all about this event that happened in Little School. We were doing when I played, that's a competition, theater competition against other schools, and we were going to get fitted for our costumes. And there was the theme of the show predicated back in the year 1800 or stuff like that. So we were going to get fitted. And one of my cast members challenged me to a race. Right? So we raced, and I beat him by a milestone, you could say. Yep. So, before the race, he was cocky and arrogant, saying he's going to win. All right, so a couple months later, we were just in a theater room, doing us, and then I challenged him to an arm wrestle, and he declined. He was like, nope. I said, why not? He said, because you beat me in a race. Like, he brought up the fact that I beat him in a race and stuff like that, and he was just saying, like, you're gonna win. So he went from underestimating me to overestimating me, which I don't think anybody should ever overestimate their opponent and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So I'm saying, like, that he changed his perception of me rather quickly, even though it was over a couple months. So that's just yeah. And as far as me, like there was a lot of people that I was quick to judge that I found out the hard way. Whether it was in a video game, in a race, whatever the case may be. So they might be a little bit cliche, because you obviously don't judge anybody by their surface. But I can't tell if like there are some situations that are necessary to do so. For example, if I see somebody with tats all over their face, that don't want to let me know they've been prison or maybe been incarcerated, but it's not necessarily going to tell me that person is, huh?
Really, you think that the face tats just a prison thing?
That is?
Do you look at the face tats as just a prison thing? That's what you automatically associate it with?
Yeah, well, I said kind of. I see it'll let me know that there's a high chance that they've been in prison. I could be wrong, but it doesn't necessarily tell me the character they are, or who they portray. Because I don't ever like stare at it long enough to see what the picture is, or whatever they got in their face. But I mean, that was just like an example, because I actually saw somebody like that the other day, but that was just an example of. I'm just asking, like, would it be necessary on some occasions to judge a book by its cover?
Yeah, absolutely. I think it's necessary. Here's what I'm saying, and when I say judging, and when I'm saying, as far as I don't believe in treating people differently, huh?
I say, Bill O'Brien does it all the time. Like,
no, man, I don't even want to talk about that. I don't even want to talk about Bill O'Brien. I don't even want to get to that. But my thing is that I think that you should be aware, and being aware is making small judgments. Don't allow your judgments to alter how you treat the person initially. Like that's what not that, because again, you never know. But you can, I'm gonna use a term, prejudge, prejudice, and it can impact the way you look at people. So be aware, again, as to what these people have decided to publicly associate themselves with. But again, you never know until you really get to know somebody. But if they have face tattoos and things of that nature, then they're aligning themselves with a certain lifestyle more than likely. So it is, kind of what it is. But that doesn't mean you should treat them any different. But once you start having a conversation or whatever, you start seeing certain tendencies that kind of align with what you thought initially, then no surprise. But some people, again, it can be past lifestyles, it could be things that they maybe did in a former life, and they're just not in a position to get that stuff removed, or they don't want to take the pain to get it removed, whatever it may be. Yeah, what's that?
You walk into a little shop, and you see a woman of color, an African American female, and she is just loud as hell. Like, what's the first thing that go to your mind? How would you perceive her?
If she's being loud as hell, the first thing I'm in my mind is like, I wish this motherfucker would shut up, probably. But it depends on what the situation is. It depends. Like I said, it's always right.
That because I ask because like most people will probably associate her with being ratchet. Like I don't even judge them. I'm not even that quick to judge them, because
I do.
I mean,
but I'm not gonna just because she's loud, I'm not gonna say she's ratchet. I think you're gonna have to take in the whole picture. So the appearance, what is she wearing? How is she carrying herself? Now, if she definitely has the hood rat starter kit and then she's loud too, then I'm gonna be like, yeah, this fucking ratchet ass bitch, this fucking motherfucker here, good grief, that's what I'm gonna think.
Here's the thing, Honcho. I've had a lot of friends like that, and it doesn't tell you the whole story. Like a lot of people get being ratchet confused with, them expressing themselves or outgoing and stuff like that. So I mean, it really, because we already talked about the coconuts and stuff like that. So oftentimes it be those kind of people, like, because like them being loud doesn't necessarily mean and stuff like that. Now, there could be, I mean, there could be females like that, but just, you know what I'm saying, they could be just because, even if they're inciting violence and stuff like that, most of them really ain't about it.
So you say that you
But like I said,
hang around a ratchet
judge
female? Is that what you say?
You know what?
Is that what you're saying, that you hang around a lot of ratchet females? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah. But, no, there's not a lot of them. Like, there's some of them that I work with.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And she normally get an attitude with the NCOs and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
But she's not like, it's not that she's an angry person. It's that people come at her the wrong way and expect her to hold her tongue. And she doesn't want to, like, she refuses to do that. And I respect that. She's really good. Like, if you get to know her, she's really good to hang around with. She get on my nerves too because she always talking that mess. But other than that, she's a cool girl, so that's what I'm saying. It's like, even people that come off as loud and stuff like that need to be, you need to actually get to know who they are, because people like that be the coolest people.
Yeah, I like peace, but I mean, there's nothing wrong. I mean, people, again, like I said, everybody's entitled to carry themselves how they want to. But why do you think that this person that you mentioned in particular is having these repeated incidents? Why do you think that people continue to maybe treat her a certain way, which causes her to react in a certain manner? Why do you think that's happening?
Ever since she got there, people have been like, you actually got a point, Hunter. Like, I'm not always around. I don't witness every incident, but the latest incident I witnessed, you know, we were just talking, and then one of the NCOs got in our business, they were interrogating her. But I don't know, like, a lot of people end up in conflict that I can't explain. So I can't tell you that, I can't give you 100% proof that she's not always at fault. But I've witnessed a lot of incidents that she's been in, and majority of them wasn't her fault. As far as why she always end up in these incidents, I'm not sure.
Because I have a belief that people who tend to get a lot of things, I mean, just an uncommon amount of incidents. Usually, it's a vibe or an energy that they carry. And I'm not saying that they're always in the wrong, but it could be a certain way that they approach things or carry things. And to some people, it may be more visible than others or whatever. Man, I'm not trying to put her at fault, but there's generally a reason certain people get in situations time and time again. And so that's why I'm inquiring that. Now, I have a question. Somebody asked, where are you stationed?
I'm stationed in Fort Bliss, El Paso.
Have you been helping people get across the border with Cory Booker?
With who?
Nothing. Okay, I'm talking shit. I'm talking shit. Nah, because they've been talking about people over there helping people get across the border illegally and doing crazy stuff. So.
Okay. No, yeah, we always is black.
Okay. Oh, terrible. Okay. So, let's see. Let me see. Okay, good. Karen, anything else that you would like to add?
Nah, so that'd be it. I just wanted to talk about that.
I was very shout out to Miss Grace. She said a meme, and it made me think. That's exactly what I was thinking about with face tats. So you talk about face tats, and you think about prison stuff. Are you familiar with Bunk Gang or Bunk or whatever his name is?
Oh, Bunk Gang?
Yes. So a guy like that, would you take him serious? That's somebody you see that you would take serious? Or even if you've seen the progression of him and even where he started out to where he just started adding all these stupid ass tats, would you take somebody like that serious, or would you think that's more of just a cry for attention?
No, Hunter, yeah, that's a good question. As far as I think that was just a huge cry for attention. I mean, I think the pressure of the internet eventually caught up to him, and he started shooting himself and stuff like that. So I think, man, I think dude really needed help. He needed to take a break from the internet, which I think he did. And you know, he was smashing females on Snapchat and stuff like that. So I think it was a cry for attention, and I think he needed help. And I haven't seen him on the internet in a while, so I think he's getting help.
Yeah, I hope so. I definitely hope so. Because when you get to the point you're shooting yourself, and when that happened, it was funny. Everybody said, "Oh, boom, got shot." I'm like, man, this dude shot himself. 100% guarantee it. Because I saw it a few minutes after. I'm like, this dude shot himself. I guarantee it. And what happens? Yeah, exactly. And so yeah, that cry for attention could be deadly, man. So hopefully, he is seeking some help. Hopefully, he's in a rehab somewhere. But yeah, but guys like that, that's what I'm saying. But I think that's what I say. I think there's a difference when you can see like a guy like that. I wouldn't take him serious. Like it wouldn't even be nothing. Like, oh, look, this dude's a joke because of the way he carries himself. But then you can see other people that again, the demeanor is very important. Body language is extremely important. Miss Gray said something about that earlier. I meant to touch on that. But yeah, so I feel you though. Okay, anything else you'd like to add?
Like I said, it didn't take me a long time to realize that his videos were fake. But other than that, Honcho, that'll be it.
Okay, all right. Well, D-Love, appreciate you calling in and sharing your thoughts. And, diversify your bonds, man. Don't always hang out with the ratchet chicks. You can get you some classy but ratchet friends, It's okay. Just change up the game a little bit.
Right? Yeah, I just look out on them coats because we about to come. We coming this year.
I'm going to hang up the phone now.
All right.
No, it doesn't matter. This nigga said the Colts. The Colts? Nah, he don't get a thank you for his service after he said the Colts. Nah, shout out to D-Love, man. We appreciate D-Love. And D-Love is going to be the next Eric Thomas, man. Shout out to D-Love, man. Man, Empress. Whew. Those photos. Oh, my God. I can only imagine, man, what was going through your mind when you got out of that vehicle, however you got out of that vehicle. I mean, it seems like I'm just looking at it and it's a whirlwind of thoughts that I'm thinking just looking at the scene. So I can only imagine what was going on, as it was taking place. Yeah, Kenneth is a lie. I don't believe nothing Kenneth say. Where'd DeMarky? DeMarky in here? Where'd DeMarky at? No, DeMarky at work, so he gotta handle his business. He gotta handle his business. Man, yeah, absolutely. But guys, like I said, we talking about faces, like guys like Boom Gang and stuff like that. There's like I say, there are guys that you can tell the difference when it's just a bunch of clown shit, and then when it's a bunch of, when it actually might be something behind that. You know what I mean? So, yeah, Kenneth, get the 290 first. You're gonna play lineman. You too light to fight. Work on that. I hope they have you working on them feet, because that footwork is questionable at best. At best, questionable. I'm gonna leave it at that. But body language. Ms. Grace mentioned body language, and I think that is important. The eyes, and we've said, a few times that people say, the eyes are the windows to the soul, and they're talking about that on that the Brittany Bowens thing. I know people have been asking for an update. I'm gonna do an update video probably next week on it sometime, just because there has been a lot of stuff that happened. But I'm gonna be honest, like, I guess self-awareness is a good thing, but sometimes maybe it can be too much, because it was just like, it made a few videos about it. But, and I know, they were getting significant views, but I didn't want to come across as, I'm trying to milk this story for everything. So I kind of let it go for a little bit, and I was just waiting for, some kind of major breaks in the story. I didn't want to touch on. So I've seen a lot of folks, they were just kind of, every little thing was just, this, and this. And I didn't want to be that guy. That's not the way I wanted to come across, because I try to have a outward perception of how I'm being viewed, maybe through other eyes, and I don't want, I guess maybe I have the, but at the same time I really don't give a shit. So it is what it is. Yeah, it is what it is. So definitely. Yes, the crazy eyes. I definitely see crazy eyes. 315. Okay, hold up. I see you, big dog. Kenneth out there using fake weights. Look, all that strength ain't gonna do you that. Like, it's motherfuckers who have just as much strength as you. So that ain't that. Look, that's a good goal, and I hope you improve on that. But all that strength don't mean nothing. I knew a dude. Yeah, he was like freshman year benching 315, and boy was eating them creatine pancakes. They had that man on varsity for 4 years. Got no offers. They used to swear up and down he was the hype. He was the this. He was the that. Yeah, that man got no love. All it was, he was just a weight room warrior. So again, the strength ain't nothing. All that lifting and doing all that, that's good. But it takes more than that to go behind it. You know what I'm saying? It takes more than that to go behind that. Again, so that sounds good. I'm glad that you are excited about that, and I'm glad for your progress, young Jahir. But it's a lot more work to it than just the weight room. So get them feet right, because footwork will do you a lot more for you. If a motherfucker can't touch you, shit, you ain't got to worry about all that. What's the motherfucking deal? Who we have calling in to the den this evening or afternoon? You ain't got to worry about all that. What's the motherfucking deal? Who we have calling in to the den this evening? Hello.
Hi, Honcho.
Okay.
Hi, family. This is Empress.
Miss Empress, how are you this afternoon?
I am well. I'm trying to turn the background down so it doesn't echo. Hold on a minute.
Okay.
Okay. I just wanted to call in and just say thank you to everybody. I know it's a time and place for everything, and I know it's off topic, but just the pouring of and showing of love that, everybody reached out saying, how are you? Oh my God, and all of that. I just want to say thank you for your concerns, but yes, it is difficult. It is difficult, but we're still here.
Yes, because you sent me those photos, and I was just like, man, was everybody relatively, unscathed? Everybody able to walk away? Were there any injuries sustained, or if you don't mind me asking?
I'm sorry. Repeat that one more time.
I'm saying I was asking if was everybody able to walk away relatively unscathed, or did anybody sustain any kind of major injuries, or?
No major injuries.
Okay.
No major injuries at all, and it's like a miracle. I mean, Subaru need to hire me to be a spokesperson, because I honestly believe that if it wasn't for that Subaru, we would have been either severely injured or dead, literally. And one of the photos where I think you see the fire truck, I was literally inside the car still.
Oh.
But some guys on the street, they kicked in the back window and got my grandbaby out. I'm still shaking now, as I'm thinking about it. But the impact was so hard that it snapped her the strap from the car seat from the side of the truck from the car seat, and just threw her. That's the impact. And they got my daughter through the sunroof. They pulled her out. Not the sunroof, the side door where you see me on the side, the truck on its side.
Yeah.
They took her out of there, and I had to wait for the fire department because my legs were pinned up under the gas and the brake pedal. So I didn't want to alarm them, because apparently I blacked out. I heard screaming, and then it just went black. And when I came to, I didn't want to alarm my daughter. She's like, "Mom, get out, get out." And I couldn't get out because my legs were pinned. I just said, you go ahead,
Yeah.
But it was just so traumatic.
Man, I'm just looking at them again, and man, that's I know that was terrifying. I can't blame you for still, that's not something that's gonna go away easily. But just I'm looking at how close to the building, and it could have been so much more. It's definitely I don't want to say a blessing because it's an accident, it's traumatic, but that it could have been so much worse, and that everybody was able to walk away,
Yes, and that's exactly how I'm looking at it. We could have been gone, but I'm still here and no complaints. Only thing last night I had the pleasure of having my grandbaby with me, and I noticed she was jumping in her sleep. And this morning I asked her, was she okay? And she said, I see the car roll. I saw the sky. So I guess her eyes was open as we were turning because she's a little thug. Like, she think everything is a roller coaster, So I guess she thought it was like a joyride or something, you know what I mean? Like we at the amusement park. But I can honestly tell you after that last roll, I looked through the sunroof and that's all I saw was the sky. You know what I mean? Right before it came down on its side. That's all I seen was the sky.
Man. So I have a question. And if it's out of bounds or anything, just let me know. But after that incident, do you feel like you have a greater appreciation for life?
Of course, for life, for my kids, my grandkids, for everything, just life, anything that's living, breathing, moving. I can't even put it into words. You know what I mean? Can't put it into words. Only thing I could say, I would never take life for granted again. Not even going to the bathroom. You know what I mean? Nothing. Not to even lift one finger. I would never take it for granted again. Never.
And I tend to see that with when people go through traumatic events, and things that could be dangerous or life threatening. That you have that appreciation. It changes your view of what you just people normally take for granted, or just everyday things. It only takes a split second. What type of car was it that you said they ran a stop sign? What type of vehicle was it that ran into you?
It's the white car in the picture. She actually ran into the pole. I don't know if you got that one. It probably didn't upload, but I think it was I believe it was a Mazda.
Okay.
I think it was a 2017 Mazda white car.
Okay.
Yeah. And and even when they pulled me out, she was in a neck brace, and I guess she was there waiting for them to get me out. She literally walked up to me before they put me in the ambulance. She walked up to me and gave me a hug and said she was so sorry. So I'm thinking either she was just texting or just her. Everybody got so much on their mind these days. Like, you know what I mean? Everybody has something that they're going through. She probably just wasn't even paying attention, So it's even that, like, I remember it had been a time, that B probably was doing this, or, you know what I mean? But just for me to even think of a different scenario that might have happened, that's different for me. Because I'm telling you, I was the type I'd cuss a bitch out just on GP. You know what I mean? So, for real, But it's just, I just have a different perspective for everything right now. So, but I don't want to hold you up. I just wanted to say thank you, and I appreciate everything.
Well, I appreciate you, and I'm glad that everything is okay. I know that, there'll still be some little, after effects, but hopefully those don't, linger too long. I'm glad to hear from you, and I'm glad that the family's okay and everybody was able to get away relatively clean. So thank you, Miss SQ. I appreciate you calling.
Thank you. Okay, bye now.
All right, you have a good evening. With the pictures, if Miss Empress, if you're still in the chat, I don't want to show them without your permission or anything like that. So I know some folks asked me if you can see the pictures. You let me know how you feel about that, and if it's okay with you, then I will show them. If not, if you'd rather not, then I will leave it alone. That's one thing I gotta understand about me, man. I talk a lot of shit, And sometimes I be on, I can sound judgment, but I do try to have, again, I talk about having respect for them. Now, celebrities doing dumb shit, I'm gonna talk about some goddamn celebrities, fuck them. But it was when it comes down to the people, man, I do care about y'all. Even Kenneth, little goofy ass, Kenneth get on my motherfucking nerve. I cannot stand Kenneth. And I'm dead serious. I'm gonna slap the shit out of Kenneth when I meet Kenneth. I'm gonna meet him one day when he can probably show up to a soft sports. I'm gonna slap the dog piss out of him. Then I'm gonna dap him up after that. Unless he try to react foolishly, then I'm gonna piece him up. I'm gonna cave his chest in, and then I'm gonna pick him up off the ground. Get your mind right, little nigga. But I like Kenneth. I do. I like Kenneth. I do. He just, he just a young nigga that age. I understand the foolishness. He listens to terrible music, but and for the most part, I like people. I don't like a lot of people's actions, but for the most part, I like people, man. Vlog that shit and post that shit. Okay, you say it's okay to show? Okay, cool. Let me pull them up here. Well, actually, let me get them out of the email. Give me a second. But I think we'll end it on that note. That'll be the last call, but. I'm gonna pull up this email. I'm talking some things for just a second. A couple of deals I want to address. And yes, we will still have dinner at 10 tonight. Don't worry, and I'll be on time. Everything will be Gucci. Not word. Not word. Okay. Looking at something different. Where is the main stuff? Okay, here we go. This one. This one. Yeah, man, y'all. This is. It's amazing that to walk away unscathed from this. Let me. I'll put it in a slideshow so it'll be easier to see. I gotta delete them files that Rashida sent her, that terrible hair. That patriotic hair is still there. I need to delete those. I definitely gotta, I don't know why it's still in there. Tripping. That's why I'm like, what shit ain't showing up? I'm clicking on the wrong shit. Let me put them like so. See how these look. Yeah, widen them out a little bit so y'all can see them. But these are the photos from the. All right, Miss D. Neville. I don't know what's good at Applebee's, but hopefully you enjoy your meal. This is wild. And you see incidents like this, you see accidents like this, and you automatically assume the worst outcome. And you see it from time to time. I know when I'm, on the highway or you see something, you have a portion of the road shut off because you just see some tragic accident. And so, yeah, if y'all are out there, man, if you texting while driving and doing all that type of stuff, man, look, cut it out. Stay focused. Focus on your front windshield. Don't worry about the rear view. Use your side mirrors. Switch lanes, turn your head and look. Cause that kills me. People don't turn it like. I'm always a head turner because the mirrors don't. Opposites in the mirrors can be closer than they appear. But I'm just telling y'all, man, and this is a blessing to walk away from. I can only imagine what was going through your mind in this situation. Like, man, this is. I think this is the picture I looked at. I was just like, wow, and to come from that unscathed. Look, we're gonna petition Subaru for you, man. That is awful shit. That's awful shit. But yeah, I'm gonna take them off of here. But shout out to Miss Empress. I'm glad you're all right. But it was funny. It was like I say, it and I guess my thoughts on that ever since watching Fight Club when I was younger. And I think when they looked like the little Asian dude or something like that they robbed at the store, and he was just telling he took his wallet. I don't know if it was Asian dude or not. I think everybody's Asian. They were talking about your life will be better. Tomorrow you'll enjoy your breakfast. It'll taste so much better, and this, and just kind of running down a list of things. Once your life has been threatened. And what's unfortunate is that so many people go through life just existing. I'm here, it is what it is, day to day. They say that 95% of our thoughts that we have every day are the same thoughts. That by the age of 35, most people, you're hardwired into who you are. And so that's why it's always good to have a change of pace, a change of scenery, But it's unfortunate that it takes tragic events for us to to get, woken up out of this way of thinking. But, what other way do you recognize? What other way do you appreciate? That's why I believe in the attitude of gratitude. Just, wake up, be thankful, and really run down a list of everything you can be thankful for each day. Little bitty stuff. Like she said, being able to go to the restroom, just lifting a finger. There's people who can't. Some people who never had that opportunity. Some people who, man, you can't go to the toilet by yourself. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, Central ain't gonna help nothing. Okay. That's interesting. Man, look, like I said, because I've been looking at a lot of things you sent me. I got a couple of questions. I may be sending you some questions and emails. It's just certain things that I've always, I won't say always wanted, but you may be able to help me get an understanding of some things. And it's just that I didn't kill the line. I'm about to get ready to wrap it up. But tonight, we're gonna have a good conversation tonight. I said I didn't want to have a certain conversation, but we're gonna have that conversation tonight, and I think you'll definitely be able to touch on some things tonight. Because I gotta give me something to eat, man. I'm not gonna lie. But my thing is this: that I think we're stuck in a lot of the ways we are. A lot of stuff that's going on now is because people are so asleep in their ways. I think people are so, it's like literal zombies, you know what I'm saying? It's like people are zombified, and they react more than they think. It's just reactions. It's like people are just reacting to everything that's going on around them instead of really thinking beforehand, or some people don't, look, what people got to understand too is like every beef that people get into, sometimes when people are avoiding certain things, it's not because they're afraid, it's not because they don't want, sometimes they're doing shit to help your ass out, And that's why I say I don't get into a lot of shit, because I know the outcomes. And one, I don't really have a lot of problems, but I know the outcomes and perception of things, they're generally going to be more negative on my end, whether I started something or not. So I tend to avoid a lot of things. I tend not to be, if it's not life-threatening, it's not that serious. But people are just responding to life, and if it's anything that I can advise anybody younger or older just going through some things, man, just appreciate. I know some people are down. I know some people have some emotions. I know somebody said something that they were going through some emotional things earlier. I think it was Kemah. I think she said she was going through some things. I don't know if you still are or not. But, it's just, man, be appreciative. I think that's the greatest thing. I mean, that's the best thing that you can start doing, even if you're going through a hard time. And I think that's what we're going to talk about tonight. Talked about, mentioning the dark place, going to those dark places, having to deal with some tough things and how you come out of those situations. So I think we're going to have that conversation tonight in the den. So hopefully y'all will be able to make it. But how do you get out of that? How do you, what traumatic things you've gone through and how do you get out of those things? So, but appreciation, in my opinion, is the key. And just learn to appreciate before you have to go through situations like that. You know what I'm saying? Go, just wake up, folks. I mean, you gotta wake up. In the world, it's a lot of real shit going on. But be thankful for everything you got. I think people only, what's the word? Look up. I guess, they not scale up. I don't know if hypergamous works in this situation, but we talk about, and that's usually when women who date up. But I think people have everybody has a little bit of a sense of that. So when they compare their lives to everyone else, they want to look at the people at the top of the food chain. And, well, they got this and they got this and I don't have this and my life isn't good because I don't have this. Well, a lot of people don't see the work and everything else that goes into that, and that's another conversation. But look at everything you do have compared to everyone around you. I mean, you got friends and family that are suffering from things that you'll never have to deal with, that you can't imagine. And I try to find everything that I can in my life to be appreciative of. And that's why I say just to have a platform to be able to talk to you guys, to chop it up about random stuff, sometimes serious, sometimes, we're clowning, and sometimes it's just completely random. But I appreciate each and every person who comes in there. I don't care if they come in here cussing and clowning or whatever. I appreciate that. Like, it's some people who have way more, some people who have way less. But I can't put myself in their scenario because that's their page and in their book, that's their story. I can only talk about mine, but I'm appreciative of mine. I don't know what they went through. I don't know what they're going through. I don't know where they will be, but I'm appreciative of every breath that I get to take, and people have to be. You have to be. When I catch myself getting frustrated and upset about stuff, you got to readjust. You got to calibrate. That's why I laugh about people saying, "Oh, why you let people do this and let people do?" I'm not finna get mad about a lot of shit. I'm not finna get mad. Like, I've been through a lot of nonsense. Some of it self-inflicted. Some of it just unfortunate. Some of it just, a lot of places. And it's people who've been knowing me for a long time that don't even realize because I don't talk about a lot of things. There's a lot of stuff I do share, but there's a lot of stuff I don't talk about. But I know what I can control, and I appreciate everything I can control. And the things that happen to me that are fortunate that I can't control, hey, I appreciate all of that. That's why I tell y'all, man, everything that y'all do out there, just showing up, it's appreciative, man. So, we're gonna have an interesting conversation tonight. Because it's some things I'm thinking about. I hope that you all can make it, and like I said, we'll chill for a little bit and then get back at it. But I'm gonna go ahead and wind this up. I was kind of waiting until the little automated thing does what it does, and let it run through. Shout out to Cultures, because y'all don't understand how much I appreciate that. Just automation is appreciation. Automation is appreciation, man. And that's my boy Lamar. Where my boy Lamar at, man? So we 10 Central, yes, we will be talking about it tonight. And we definitely gonna discuss. We're gonna discuss a lot, and hopefully, I think everybody. Here we go. Honcho HTX on Instagram and Twitter. If you want to follow my personal social medias, hit that like button. The like is important, and subscribe is important. But please share this with like-minded people who may enjoy some of these conversations. They got to understand our sense of humor, but invite them. Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, Den Show Live. You want to send an email, denshowlive@gmail.com. The 10 a.m. dens have moved to 1 p.m. started last week, and then They're still live 7 days a week at 10 p.m. and I will be on time tonight. If you can't watch, listen in. Den Show Podcast. I've been uploading the past streams to the podcast. So if you just want to go back and listen while you're doing whatever you do, you can check that out. Go to Den Show Shop to get some Den Show merch variety and get the mug that's in the background or whatever else. 833-284-3336. That's the Den line. You can hit it up anytime, whether we're live or not. It may go to voicemail. You can send a text message, send a screenshot if you got some good news, funny memes, all that stuff. I appreciate all of those things. If you want to make a one-time donation to the channel, you can go to streamlabs.com/The Den Show. And I appreciate everybody who's been showing love and supporting the channel. And then if you want to make a monthly pledge to the channel, you go to patreon.com/The Den Show. Shout out to Miss Grace, James, Stina Starry-Eyed, Diana, Miss Goya, Donald Trump, Betty Spaghetti, and hold on. I gotta remember, did I say it? Hold on, I know, I got this. Hold on. I gotta start over because I can't remember if I said it or not. So, Diana, Dan, Stina, Starry-Eyed, Betty Spaghetti, James, Donald Trump, Goya, and Miss K. Grace. I think I got them all. Sometimes I'm saying I don't forget if I said certain ones over. But I appreciate all the Patreon support. I appreciate all of you. And just, man, I thank y'all for tuning in today. And are you? I don't know. I have to look and see. I don't know if it is. I'll go ahead and check the. I have to check it because I think the last time I checked, I don't know if it was still on there or not. If not, shout out to Jess Sarah. But Jess Sarah, you all right? Jess Sarah been showing love to the channel. Jess Sarah is like, what do they call them? Like, you have people who are what do they call them? What's the name? Not a fundraiser, but she's been whole because Jess Sarah gets the party started. Like Jess Sarah coming here kicking the door. Look, I guess you could call it a fundraiser, but she gets the party started. She gets the donation train going. Some of the best nights of the dead, Jess Sarah has. Man, I gotta go back and figure out which video that was. It's been some nights. Jess Sarah got this thing jumped all the way off. So, I love Miss Jess Sarah. Miss Jess Sarah, actually, she changed the dynamic of the den one night, and I just want to say shout out to her for that. Because I think that was a night that the den grew as a community. And I'm not going to bring all of it up. If you were there, you were there. If you weren't, then, it was a great den. But she definitely changed. Like that's when I realized the den could be something special that night. So shout out to Jess Sarah. But salute to all of you. I appreciate every one of y'all. Again, it's an honor, a privilege, and a pleasure as we continue to make progress in this community. I thank you all. But I'll catch y'all tonight at 10. But until then, I'm going to steal some pistachios and some other shit. Watch me. Let me see who I'm finna get a meal off of real quick. Oh, that's a BET. Okay. Just here, gonna set it off tonight. I'm looking forward to it. we need a Jess Sarah call. That's what we need. We ain't heard from you in a minute. We need a call from Miss Jess Sarah. A nigga nap. What? I'm gonna be on at 10. Y'all talking shit. I'm gonna be on at watch. Bet everybody. I'm taking everybody name who's saying I ain't gonna be at 10. I'm removing 1,000 pistachios when I pull up on time. Y'all just gonna check out the account. They're gonna be empty. I'm gone.